by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. I want to personally thank North Carolina Right to Life for gracing me with the opportunity to speak today to confront the darkness of abortion with the light, the truth, and the love of God. Statistics reveal 1 in 3 women will have an abortion in their lifetime, and 54% of those who have abortion identify as Christian. Therefore, it is very likely someone right now is listening that has experienced the heartbreak of abortion or may know someone who has. I want you to personally know in Christ Jesus, there is no condemnation, no guilt, and no shame, though you may feel these things at times as you move through inner healing. Know that God is speaking a better word over you. The blood of God's Son Jesus poured out for your sin, the sin of abortion, is greater and more powerful to save, deliver, heal, and redeem once and for all. There is freedom and forgiveness found in Christ Jesus. My testimony is a rescue mission of any voice locked up in pain to be set free. You are not alone. You still have purpose in your pain. This is my story. I grew up going to church, saved when I was 13, yet I had experienced childhood trauma, deeply unhealed wounds, and insecurities that contributed to the vulnerabilities and common temptations that teens face, even more so intensely in this generation. I was in a crisis, 16, pregnant, and consumed with guilt, shame, and paralyzing fear. The Southern sweet church girl was in a mess. Not wanting to subject my family or myself to any embarrassment, I thought of no other option but abortion. I ran from the church instead of to the church. The few days leading up to the abortion were crushing. My parents did not know, and I had only told one trusted person to chaperone me for driving. The waiting area was quiet with women sitting. There was an unspoken undercurrent of darkness of what we were there for. I was struggling to keep composure. One girl said to me, "It's okay," and shared how she had already done this before. I was in shock. I knew this was wrong, and the grief was overwhelming, yet I remained. My name was called. A nurse began to take all my vitals as I continued to struggle and cry. She listened, but said little. I remember the room, the table, and the poster on the wall I was told to look at. I remember the pain and the tears streaming down my face. Then home. Recovery was several days of heavy bleeding and cramping, but life was never the same again. I vowed to tell no one, but this lasted only a few days. I confessed to my mom and stepdad at the time what I had done. The response was not what I had thought up in my mind. The shock in their faces, and then the sadness. They embraced me. We cried. There was disbelief, anguish, and then we never talked about it again. I recall driving down the highway years later and beginning to weep at the thought of what I had done. It was time to speak of what had happened that I held in for years to God. Please forgive me. The memory never leaves you, but it does get buried down and can resurface unexpectedly. It was the one thing I believe disqualified me from anyone else ever loving me and receiving God's forgiveness. I experienced relief as I finally took the time to feel and talk to God. I thought that was the end of my story, but this was only the beginning of my healing journey and road to redemption. Now, more than 2 decades later, I stand before you, forgiven, healed, and redeemed. When I was once broken, afraid, desperate, and selfish. Since that encounter, God has led me on many divine and strategic assignments as part of my personal healing journey, and to actively pray for the ending of abortion and advocate for the unborn and the mothers who have lost them on behalf of North Carolina. God has loved me to wholeness, freedom, and redeemed my voice to pray and share the truth of abortion to see others set free. He has led me to abortion recovery supports and resources to work through for healing and to share my story. He has given me a voice to awaken believers, to protect the unborn, and rise up as the first responders to mothers, fathers, and children who need the church to be the answer in crisis pregnancies. As a body of believers, this is our finest hour, and now you're part of the story. Today, you shape history through your prayers, presence, and persistence as you march for life. Pray for the ending of abortion. Stay informed. Vote for pro-life candidates and keep showing up. Be actively involved in the rescue mission of saving babies, supporting mothers and fathers, and building a culture of life in North Carolina. God completely consumed me with his love, the freedom of forgiveness, and has given me a voice for the voiceless to share hope and redemption to help women. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is our finest hour. Let's march for life. My name is Ashley Shuell, and I love to tell the story, Arise from Ash, Purpose Birthed from Pain. Thank you so much.